Predator vs. Judge Dredd vs. Aliens. A story about three iconic characters all put together in the comic book world. This one takes place on a planet where a predator has crash landed, but today he has become the hunted, prey to some human-animal hybrids created by Dr. Reinstadt. He activates a distress beacon and throws it away as he runs off, hoping his people will come to his aid. He is then injured by a spear weapon going through his right shoulder, and is greeted by the creatures that hunt him. They injure the predator by stabbing 2 more spears into his body, just barely leaving him alive for Dr. Reinstadt to conduct some tests on him. Then these creatures locate the predator's crashed ship, and amongst it, they discover its weapons and trophy room. They take a xenomorph skull so Dr. Reinstadt can extract its DNA. Meanwhile, Judge Dredd and his team travel to a rundown bar in a remote part of the planet, searching for terrorists that cause trouble in his city. Judge Anderson uses her psychic powers to assure the criminals are in this bar. Dredd tracks the group down as they were using holographic technology to change their appearances. A fight then breaks out between the judges and the criminals. As one of them runs off, Dredd shoots him enough to slow him down. He asks for the location of the Archbishop Emoji, who is a psychic robot, and is sometimes seen as a messiah to some people. But the criminal does not give out his location, but Dredd still tracks his movements with binoculars and heads west, into the swamp and jungle. We are then taken to Dr. Reinstadt, who has extracted the xenomorph DNA from his skull and created a facehugger that he plans to use on the wounded predator. Then his Ani-Men creations interrupt him about incoming intruders. Judge Dredd is seen on the security monitors, but then we get a glimpse of another group of predators in the area. Now, as the hunters look through the land, they piece together what happened. One of their people was injured and captured, followed by footprints that belonged to strange animals, and marks that were made by some vehicle. It turns out, the same people who captured a predator had also fought with Judge Dredd and his team after they caught up with Archbishop Emoji. The judges were all captured as well, so this group of hunters then proceeds to follow the tracks. We are then shown the judges waking up and finding themselves binded and strapped onto tables. Dredd is greeted by Dr. Neil Reinstadt, whom he thought was killed years ago, but it is revealed that who Dredd thought he killed back then was just a decoy. Dr. Reinstadt has been hiding in this area to perfect his genetic mutation formula, but now he acquired the xenomorph skull, and his work has taken another evolutionary step. He injects Judge McGrary with his formula, and he immediately mutates into a human-alien creature. But his experiments don't stop here. He then takes a facehugger and plants it on the face of Judge Gilligan. But he is interrupted once again when he finds out the other predators have located his hideout. They are outside using their weapons on the facility as they battle the Ani-Men creatures. This hunting party has come in search of their captured brother, but little do they know he is already dead. As the predators defeat the Ani-Men outside, they make their way inside the building, and Dr. Reinstadt and his men scramble to escape, but not before a Pred alien emerges that is about to kill Dredd. Then Judge Anderson uses her psychic powers to speak to the mutated Judge McGrary. Although he has changed, part of him is still a man, still a judge, but not for much longer. He fights off the Pred alien and frees Dredd. With little time left to control Judge McGrary, Dredd takes Gilligan's body outside, but then a predator uses a spear-tip weapon to kill him off, knowing he was going to die from the chest burster anyways. Anderson shows up with the other predators who captured Dr. Reinstadt and his remaining Ani-Men. All of them are locked up and ready for transport to Mega City 1. The two groups team up and fight off the Pred alien and the mutated Judge Gilligan, who has lost all of his humanity by now. One predator dies in battle from acid burns, but the 2 aliens are then killed off by gunfire. Just as things are about to end, Dr. Reinstadt was freed by Archbishop Emoji. They left the area in a ship, and in the back, we see his Ani-Men have just given birth to xenomorphs. As they make their way back to Mega City 1, Archbishop Emoji contacts his cult of followers and tells them to gather up outside of his church, as his return will bring forth the beginning of their salvation. He promised them death and carnage to all the people of Mega City 1. But as the xenomorphs are dropped off in the area, they kill off Emoji's cult and start to wreak havoc on the city. Then Reinstadt betrays Emoji by killing him, and injects himself with the DNA of the Queen alien that was meant for Judge Anderson back at his lab. As Dredd arrives 2 hours later, he requests backup, but it is denied due to so many crimes happening right now in the city. They are left on their own, but lucky for Dredd, the Predators are there to help him. They track down one target and kill it, but later, Dredd encounters the elephant xenomorph, but is saved by Predator. After this, they see one alien capture a civilian, and it carries him away. They follow it, and they are led to a hive full of eggs. As they venture onward, they are attacked once again by 2 more xenomorphs, and one Predator dies. But Dredd uses his lawgiver with incendiary rounds, along with armor-piercing shots to kill off the aliens. Now, as the remaining Predator is wounded, Judge Anderson walks deep into the hive alone. She can sense a being nearby. She locates Dr. Reinstadt in his new form, a mutated Spider Queen alien. He has now become the perfect creature he always tried to create. Dredd shows up and quickly fires off all of his high explosive rounds while fighting off incoming facehuggers. A fire breaks out and burns through the hive. They pull survivors out, and the Control tells Dredd that all the aliens were exterminated. The story ends with the last surviving Predator taking a trophy and leaving the planet, but not before complimenting Dredd as being a worthy warrior and honorable hunter, and thanking him for avenging his friends who died in the hunt. And that was a story of Predator versus Judge Dredd versus aliens. I think this story and art was really good, and it's one of the few stories that I think could be adapted into a film. But what do you think about this story? Did you like it? And do you think it's good enough to become a movie? Put your thoughts in the comments section. If you enjoy videos like this, then have a look around my channel, as I've covered many topics across the comics, video games, and movies. Thanks for watching. My name is Acid Glow, and I'll see you in the next video.